It's time for one of my favorite segments, Can We All Just Get Along? In more insane news from the drug war, a North Alabama man is going to prison for growing marijuana in his backyard. Yes, indeed, America, I'm not making this up. A judge this week sentenced 40-year-old Robert Michael Musick from Athens to 3 years in prison and 2 years probation for drug trafficking. Musick's first trial ended in a hung jury. A prosecutor said one juror didn't believe that marijuana should be illegal. Musick was convicted during his second trial. Defense lawyer Sherry Phillips says no one should serve 3 years in prison for growing marijuana in their backyard. Ms. Phillips, we agree with you wholeheartedly. And the most shocking thing about this is on his private property, I want to repeat that point, on his property, our Constitution, our founders, right, when they first wrote the Declaration of Independence, remember it was supposed to be life, liberty, and property? Then they changed it to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. But let's just be real about this. Like, my life, my liberty, and my pursuit of happiness is my damn business. And if I want to grow a weed plant in my backyard, I should be allowed to do that. But this particular Mr. Musick was growing it in the privacy of his backyard, and he was found guilty of drug trafficking. He's going to serve 3 years in prison, 2 years of probation, and he will be known as a drug dealer. And what makes this story even crazier is earlier this week, President Trump had some interesting ideals of how we as Americans should deal with our drug dealers. Let's take a listen.
A drug dealer will kill 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people during the course of his or her life. And then you wonder why we have a problem. That's why we have a problem, folks. And I don't think we should play games. Now, I never did polling on that. I don't know if that's popular. I don't know if that's unpopular. Probably you'll have some people that say, oh, that's not nice. But these people are killing our kids, and they're killing our families, and we have to do something.
So in President Trump's America, Robert Michael Musick, a 40-year-old from Alabama who just wants to grow his weed plant and smoke his joint every now and then, should be sentenced to death. I don't even know where to begin with this. Here's the truth, America. Here is the truth. We should have legalized marijuana a long time ago. The reason why we haven't legalized marijuana is really threefold. Number one, Big Pharma. Pharmaceutical companies want to do everything in their power to stop the United States from legalizing marijuana because they know that they know that if once marijuana is legal, many of the drugs they put on the market will no longer be necessary. And let's not forget that Pharma has blood on its hands. Remember, we would not be in this current opioid crisis if it wasn't for Pharma pushing out and peddling opioids like Pez at a carnival. Yes, I said it, and I know I'm saying it correctly. Basically, Pharma has pushed out opioids, and doctors have overprescribed them, and now people are addicted to them for pain when they could have used a simple remedy grown out of the ground called marijuana. That's number one. Number two, the second reason why we won't legalize it is because you have these sycophants who believe that for some reason legalizing marijuana is is immoral. And, woe is me, hell will free, America's going to freeze over and we're going to become like hell if we decide to legalize it. And number three, the third reason why we haven't legalized marijuana is because you have people who are just plain old school. Well, we here at the Fowler Show have some facts for you on the benefits of legalizing marijuana in our current era. And we have 5 reasons as to why we should legalize. Thing number 1, prohibition has had a huge social cost. Our police, whether you like them or not, devote thousands and thousands and thousands of hours to booking, arresting, and imprisoning marijuana smokers, many of whom are otherwise law-abiding citizens. They just like to get high every now and then. Now this has cost the American taxpayer, you at home, more than $3.6 billion a year. And the trade-off has been they can't go out and fight other crimes. So we should be using these police officers to fortify our school buildings. We should be using these police officers to fight theft and to fight robbery and to, fight maybe, I don't know, to help fortify our voting machines. There's so many other things our police can be doing, but yet they're going after people who smoke a J every now and then. Hundreds of thousands of people who are arrested also suffer. When they're arrested, it stays on their record. They're not able to get a job. They have to check the box that says they're a felon, all because they got found with, what, a gram of marijuana? Insane. Thing number 2, and the second reason why we should legalize marijuana. Criminalization doesn't increase drug use. After 3 decades, criminalization has no effect on general usage. About 3 million Americans use marijuana each and every year. That number has not gone down. So, you're not going to stop people from smoking it. And to be frank with you, God's gifts are perfect, and this one is a perfect gift from God. Number 3, the prohibition is uniquely racist. Whites and blacks use marijuana roughly at the same rate, on average. However, blacks are 3.7 times more likely than their white counterparts to be arrested for possession of marijuana. Number 4, cannabis is medicine. And I think this is one of the most important things, and that's why some states have been bold and brave, and they have legalized medical marijuana. Some have legalized marijuana overall, but they've also legalized medical marijuana because of the impact and the benefits it has for sick people. Number 1, it can be used to treat epilepsy. Number 2, it could be used to treat HIV/AIDS. Number 3, it could treat nausea for people who have chemotherapy. It could be used to treat glaucoma. It could be used to treat Crohn's disease, muscle spasms, multiple sclerosis, and many other types of disease, also including arthritis. I know a young lady who has severe arthritis, and the opioid medication they were giving her was not working. Since then, she's been on a CBD marijuana regimen, and she's been weaned off the opioids, and her arthritis pain has gone away. There is actually real benefit to smoking marijuana. Real benefit. On top of the fact that there's a lot of journal articles about how marijuana makes you more creative, marijuana makes you a better writer, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say that I have evidence to any of these things, but I think some of them are true. And number 5, it is safer than alcohol or tobacco. When was the last time you've seen somebody blacking out in a gutter because they smoked too much weed? You haven't. When was the last time you've seen somebody go to the hospital and says, oh, I have emphysema because I smoked weed? You haven't. When was the last time you seen somebody with an oxygen tank rolling down the street saying, oh yeah, I've been smoking weed for the past 50 years of my life, and thus I'm on oxygen? You haven't. Because marijuana does not have the same negative health impacts that alcohol and tobacco do, even though those 2 drugs are both legal in the United States of America. Here's the truth, guys. Now more than ever, we should be working together to legalize marijuana because of the benefits it has across the board. Right? Take a state like Colorado. Colorado has legalized marijuana, and as a result of legalizing marijuana, they've seen impacts on both sides of their balance sheet. So the cost has gone down because police are no longer prosecuting marijuana cases. They're no longer jailing people for marijuana, number 1. And they've also seen revenue increase because of taxes. So not only have they seen an increase in weed tourism, people are coming to Colorado to smoke weed, number 2, but they've also seen regular residents smoke weed to the point where Colorado has a budget surplus thanks to marijuana. Like they're like everything, like they have a wish list. Every department has a wish list of everything they need, and they've paid for it all because of the revenue they've made thanks to the legalization of marijuana, and they're not alone. California has just legalized. They're seeing the benefits of it. The District of Columbia has legalized. They're seeing the benefits of it. It's time for the rest of America to wake up and smell the weed smoke. It's time to legalize.